Is it just me, or are you all amazing? I am respectful and awed by the degree to which you have been able to connect your own experiences with the ideas presented in the readings. And I'm very glad that you have shared your own experiences with one another, because that makes for a much more immediate and deeper learning experience. I'm going to reflect on your contributions from a social worky point of view of the ecosystemic perspective, starting with the individual systemic level, working up to the macro level. From the individual perspective, several people suggested that differences between the siblings might result in bullying, which in turn might result in lower self-esteem or developing antisocial traits. And that's true. These are possibilities. However, as a social worker, you're going to suspend judgment and let your clients tell you what their perspective is. It could be that none of these things happen, of course. As several of you pointed out, the family is critical. The family's teaching is the lens through which children experience their world and interpret their world. So experiences that children have in the outside, families have an opportunity to educate them about those experiences, particularly with regard to considering the source. And so, yet again, in this instance, a risk factor, which would be racism or prejudice in general, it can also be a protective factor, which is that it becomes an opportunity for families to educate kids in critical analysis of those things from the outside world and considering the source. It's important to understand also, as several people pointed out, that we are not what we appear to others to be. In fact, this is reflected in the demographic changes in the U.S. Census. Between 2000 and 2010, the increase in the number of people who reported being of mixed race increased by 50%, whereas the increase in number of people who reported being of a single race was only 10%. So the world is changing, and everybody better get up to speed, prejudices or not. It is true that internalized racism occurs within families, within communities, within individuals. But again, that can be countered by positive experiences of one's own ethnicity. It's wonderful that more and more people in your cohort are making connections between your own experiences and the readings, and I encourage everyone to make those connections and cite the readings in your posts. So once again, thank you, and I look forward to this coming week.